Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Majid. How are you today? To 800. I'm just marking out some important levels. Oh, there's a naked level there. Daily level. Oh my god, I've lost it. There it is. Control 4200. Interesting. What I'm doing is I'm drawing out some naked points of control. Basically, if you go back in the time, you can see where the previous points of control were for this is a daily time frame, and the first time the price reaches those previous levels, the price always reacts. So I can see now that we have a naked point of, I've already marked this off, naked point of control above us at 45900. I've already marked that off here, but there's a few new ones underneath us now, so I'm just marking those down because if the price comes back down, the price will react of those levels. So it's good to have those levels marked and you have to do that kind of analysis for the weekly as well and for the monthly time frames. So I can see now the previous week. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's quite strong support underneath us right now. There's a weekly, and before there's a weekly. That's 40020 this week. We have a lot of untapped liquidity underneath us. So yeah, that's interesting. So as we are going up without taking liquidity, so that's something that I wanted to investigate. Let me have a look at the month. The monthly should be fine. It's the monthly. We have a big one above us, and the current month point of control is there. Sometimes my charts don't work. Go up, go up. It's weird. It's weird. What we experienced yesterday in the move up. I'll show you. You don't need to know this stuff, but it's interesting. So basically, as the price went up, we had a short closing of minus $5.5 million. So there was a liquidation as the price went up. You can see the liquidation bubble. That happened at about 8 p.m. And then what you're seeing is lots of longs coming in. Lots of small longs coming in. And then we had a big long here, look. 4.1 million open interest, increase in open interest right there. And this was a short closing, but also yeah, that was a short closing, so that was a liquidation. See that liquidation bubble? Now we're in our current range. So we had a bit of strength on the move up yesterday. And here as well. This is a 13 million long. And let me have a look at the OI. At the aggregate is minus 908k, but it was 13 million longs came in there in that candle there. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong behavior when the longs are coming in like that. But it does mean something. It means that if the price can get below about 43,800, then a lot of these late longs are going to be trapped. You have a lot of potentially you can have a lot of trapped longs if the price comes back down. So that's something to consider. I can't see any divergences yet. Oh, let me have a look at the closer time frame. Yeah, there's a little bit of bearish divergence on CVD right now. You can see the CVD is higher and the price is lower. So you'd have the price, it's actually making a lower high, and you can see that the CVD is making a higher high. So that's telling us that there's some absorption, which means there's some big whales with some big spot positions putting limit orders to sell. And so what's happening is that people who are longing on open interest, i.e. leverage longs, they're getting absorbed at the moment in these highs. So that's something to bear in mind. It's only slight bearish divergence, but it's happening. And so when you get this kind of bearish divergence, you don't long. You just don't go against whales. Whales rule the ocean. In this case, Bitcoin ocean. And small fish get eaten. So when you see whales start behaving in a certain way, then you have to avoid them. Basically, you avoid the whales, or you actually trade with the whales. So you can actually start shorting because you know that whales are selling. Basically, that's the idea. You can't short without an invalidation. That's rule number one. Now, I wouldn't short here at the moment because I'm not seeing weakness yet in the price action. We have a massive liquidity level above us. It's not far away. It's only about 2 to 3% above us. We're also into the golden pocket. And that means we're into heavy resistance right now. See that? We're into the 618. The 618's already reacted. So not only are we into resistance right now, we have a higher time frame level above us, which is the monthly level. Let me have a look at that. It's tapped. It's already tapped, so the liquidity's been taken from that level. But I wouldn't be surprised if it still reacts as some kind of resistance level. But actually the untapped liquidity is further up. You have a couple of naked points of control, daily and weekly, and then you have 2 daily levels. You have a bit of liquidity above us. So I think if we were to go up, we're into resistance, basically. That's what I'm saying. We're into resistance now. We have to see, because people generally like to long in the highs, but what's the target? Let me explain. Good morning, David. Welcome. So I just had a look at EXO, and we have it. I'll show you. We have a little bit. I mean, you can see it for yourself because you have EXO. We have a little bit of bearish divergence right now on CVD. Higher CVD, lower highs. So that's something to bear in mind. And basically, we had a bit of a liquidation event last night at midnight. And if the price manages to get back down to about underneath this crop here, then I think we're going to see some a little bit of a bunch of trapped longs. I think that would be the area of interest for seeing trap longs. I drew out a couple of naked points, three naked points of control. So we got on the move up, I marked out three naked daily points of control. So we have a little bit of liquidity underneath us as well. We have a gap, actually. We have a little bit of a gap. So I think this is what I'm seeing. So we have resistance above us, we have resistance further below us, and then we have a little bit of a gap. And the gap has been formed by the move up last night. Yeah. We have a triangle breakout. So we have a maximum extension target for that triangle. And if I was to draw it out, roughly, it's something like that, huh? From the breakout, it's the height of the body, of the top to bottom. Let me do it again. So it's probably like there. It's like there. So that will take us nicely into the monthly level with this breakout to match the height. I think I'm doing it right. To match the height from there to there, roughly. It's kind of rough. So if I have it from there to there, that's roughly about right. Yeah, a little bit more. Then the breakout kind of takes you to the monthly level. I think that's going to be a really good area to short, to be honest with you, right up there. I think a lot of people are going to get quite bullish as we cross this golden pocket. And then we have to see what happens. Because even though that is a golden pocket, arc. All right, so there's, because at the moment I'm doing it on log chart, the 786 will come into the daily level slightly above us. So I'm actually thinking maybe this is what happens. You get something like this, get another push up, and you get something like that. It's what I'm kind of imagining right now, because I don't think it's just going to reject, you know, because you go up, you come back into the golden pocket. Why would you just come back through it? You know, it's gonna hold for a little bit. No, it's gonna have another attempt to go up, try and capture some more liquidity higher up. It's gonna come into like some strong levels, some daily levels. Like there's a couple there. Let me have a look at the daily time frame. There's one untapped one, and then that one's going from before, from this. So one is untapped and one is tapped. But that's Then you have the 786. If that doesn't happen, then you're going for the highs, really, because there's nothing else. You're heading for that weekly level, and this is the other thing. Like, you have a psychological level at for 50,000, which is basically why would you stop there if this doesn't play out? And then it's all about how we're seeing how this consolidation is at this high, in these highs. And also at the moment we're above the value area high. The thing is, you've got this triangle breakout. I don't see it extended further than the monthly level, which is about there. And then you have to see what happens. Yeah, then we have to see what happens, because this doesn't even need to play out like this. This could this just could be one idea. You could just fall back down, you know. That's very viable. You could actually be forming a higher you could actually, and this is the other thing, we could actually be forming a higher time frame triangle. It's quite poetic, actually. These could be the 1-2 points. It's going to really annoy everyone, but that's what Bitcoin does. It likes to annoy people. 2 right into the 786. Don't know where this would be. Let's imagine worst case scenario goes up to the 886. And then let's imagine that this goes down to the 886. Let's just see. Let's just imagine this is all going to the 886. And that's what you're looking at. Get everyone bullish, come right back down. Get everyone bearish, go right back up. But the thing about this triangle, you're only going to hit it. This is still bullish, huh? Because in the next pass you go up again. Then you're kind of, then that's what you're doing. This is still quite a bullish triangle, but in terms of the Bitcoin halving, this would work perfectly, because then you're in April, and in April you are looking to go up. Yeah, so if we do kind of make a lower high here, then we go back down to make a higher low there, then we go up in March to make another lower high, come back to the 50%, which is probably going to be the point of control, find support to make our way back up, to break out, and that's going to look really bullish. And that's basically what we've done now. Actually, when I was looking at the triangle that I drew in this mini range, look, we've basically done that. Look, up, down, wait, up, down, up, kind of, it's kind of done that a little bit. It's not as clean, but after it got to this point, it only really came, like, it kind of got, it came down low, but it never really touched. I don't know, it was a hard one, this triangle, because we're right in the middle. It could have gone either way. But this outer triangle, I think our thesis is a little bit more bullish. And I think the reason why I'm thinking this is because we are creating a lot of liquidity levels underneath us. With these naked volume levels, that we've got 3 new naked volume levels underneath us. We've got a naked weekly level right there. We've got the range now, because we're just above the range. So we've got the point of control, we've got the value area high, got the value. We've got a lot of liquidity levels underneath us. I think this is what I'm thinking at the moment. We'll see what happens, right? So just bear that in mind. This could be something. And if not, then we're basically going to make another high now. And if that happens, then this is going to be really bullish because you've just made a higher high. And this lower low becomes your higher low. And you're basically still in bullish market structure. It's going to be a lot more difficult to change it to bearish if we go up and make a higher high now. Then it's going to be really difficult to go down now. So I think if that was to happen, you're going to get a lot of people enter on the next dip if you're confirming the continuation of bullish market structure. It's going to look really bullish if that happens. And so we have to bear that in mind. So we're contemplating two scenarios: a higher high for continuation of bullish market structure, or some kind of range bound pattern that forms like this. And then obviously the other alternative is that we do make a lower high here. We've already got a lower low and we go down. You know, that's the three scenarios that we're contemplating for another lower low here. You know, then we're in bearish market structure, and then this could continue for much longer because we're now in bearish market structure. So I think those are the scenarios right now. Right now, when it comes to Bitcoin, XO is showing bearish CVD right now. Let me just put this into I'll call it my time frame. Oh. Right, this one I'll just leave it. Perfect. The alts are going to do quite well, huh, in this top part of the range, I think. So let me just quickly have a look at some other things like USD. Look at that. Look at my so for all those people who like my predictions, look at my prediction. Look at the yellow line and look how the price is moving. In the words of that actor from the A-Team, I love it when a plan comes together. Well, let's have a look at the high time frame. Yeah, we're coming into support soon on the USDT. We're coming into resistance soon on BTCD. ETH is on support, ETH BTC. We're in the top half of this range. We're on the point of control. It's a good place to be. So I think it's possible that Bitcoin dominance turn soon. I think it's possible we go up a little bit and then just come back down. I think this is possible, that we just kind of do that. USDT could probably go flat for a little bit. See what happens. The total market cap of crypto is looking strong. We're above this mini range value area here. It's looking stronger than Bitcoin, to be honest with you. So I think with this, it is very possible that we kind of go up much higher, maybe even attack the highs, because it's so close from this 618 to the high. It may overshoot. So yeah, I think if Bitcoin can actually now go sideways in this top part and figure out what it's going to do, then the alts are going to do well. Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are hoping for, because most of the money is at the moment, it's made in altcoins, not on Bitcoin. Yeah, so we've just broken out. We're going to now form a consolidation range in these highs. I think when it comes to Bitcoin, I wouldn't be eager to short right now unless we get, and this is my line. For me, this is my line. If we get an hourly close here underneath this line, we get an hour close underneath this line, I think that would be a massive sign of weakness for me. I wouldn't want to see that, because it would be a close would be underneath this hourly order block, and maybe this new order block that's formed. You're basically reversing this whole structure, and you're closing back into this candle, which is a high volume candle. I don't want to see a close back into the body of this candle. I don't think that would look nice. That wouldn't look pretty. I think if you saw that, you're going to trap some late longs here, and they're going to be underwater. They're going to close their positions, and then you'll quickly see a move down, right? So I think it's worth just keeping that level in mind. See where that, yeah, that's just underneath the value area high as well. So basically you don't want to you don't really want to close back into the value area high, really. It's basically what I'm saying, in any meaningful way. So I mean, it is possible, you know, it is possible to go down and wick down. That's very possible. And if that was to happen, you'd have a really nice trade, because then you'd have an invalidation and you'd have a nice long as the price comes back up. You know, if that was to present itself, you could have a really nice long. Yeah, and you have a nice invalidation because you rejected from the value area. That would be the next long for me. But I think what you really want to do now is you want to let this higher time frame range to form. And I think it is probable that we're going higher, just simply because of this triangle breakout. Just the extent of it. You know, you're probably going up there somewhere. And I think the monthly level is your level of interest for the extent of this move, probably, which is there. So I think that will be the long trade if I'm interested in. And what I'm going to do is going to move this level up a bit. just a little bit. Put an alert on it. Looking for long. Rejection from VA. I don't want to close underneath that. This candle is here. If I get a close, I would be shorting. Actually, I'd short, and my invalidation would be the candle that entered. For that would be my quick invalidation. It would be really tight invalidation. Because I think if you close there, you're not really expecting it to come back. You're seeing weakness if you get a close back into this high volume candle. That's what I'm imagining to see. That's my first sign of weakness. Until you see that, I'm not seeing, you can't really see weakness. But the fact that we have, the fact that we've got some bearish CVD, to me suggests that we are going to go down. You know, we are going to go down, but not necessarily just maybe to do this, you know, maybe we'll go down just to do this, just to go up, you know, like who knows. But I do think the monthly target should hit in this move. And if it doesn't, then this is just a shitty failed auction, you know, and it is what it is. You just have to accept that. All right. I think that's it. Anything else come to mind? Majid, David? A quick update. All right, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. When I'm back, we'll look at Dtravel. I have the candles. I mean, the candles are bullish, David. Looking at the daily time frame. That's a bullish candle. It closed above this wick here. Bullish. You can't really. There's nothing really to say. It's a bullish candle. Small one. Right, I'll be right back. Right, I'm gonna have a look at TRVL and then Doge and then gas. I'm doing that. Right. TRVL. I'm looking at the max chart at the moment. Just have a look at these. Get rid of that now. What's this anchored VWAP? Okay, so the anchored VWAP from the all-time low is above the point of control now. So the point of control is now even more powerful. That's an observation that I've just made now. The anchored VWAP. So that's the average volume weighted VWAP, the volume weighted average price. So it's anchored from the all-time low, which means that it's the volume from the all-time low to current price action. At the moment, the average price is 3.2 cents, which is above the point of control. The point of control is already a strong support level. And now we have the anchored VWAP from the all-time low. So I think the point of control is easily going to be the next amazing entry if anyone's interested in catching the dip, for sure. I don't see, I'm just cleaning my charts as well. Just to get that, it's fine. It's fine, all right. Nope, I don't see anything there. This trend line is broken, nothing there. David's messing up out of my trend lines. So annoying. We have a little bit of this trend line is, yeah, we have a little bit of a trend line here. Have to see how that looks on the other charts. There's a little bit of a trend line here, and it's like a neckline. And this could tie into that that harmonic that you drew out. You drew for me yesterday. Let me go to the other chart and see. Was it on KuCoin? All right. Not 100%. there is some kind of trend line here. If that is the value area high as well. I mean, look, that is possible, huh? We have another push up, and it doesn't get so far. It's going to form a bullish bat, but I don't think anyone's going to be happy about that. That's going into the 786. The golden pocket would be back at this. This is the KuCoin chart. The golden pocket would be back at this yeah, that's the thing. Like we're going over this this SR flip, which is this 236 line. I think that's a really important line on the KuCoin chart. Let me mark it off. But the 382 is coming to the value area high of the KuCoin volume profile, which would also connect this top trend line. Like there's a little bit of confluence there, and if we do manage to go up somehow, and actually it could be just as aggressive as before. Like it could be there. It could be like, could it be like this? No. Could be like that. You could just range here. Go up like that. Bam, one more. Like that. Drop down to there. Excuse me, sorry, I don't know. You can't trade this harmonic unless we go up to the C and we get a rejection. When you get a rejection at the C, then you can sell and look to target the D for a reaccumulation. I don't know if I would target the D, because I think the point of control is going to be really a strong level, but you never know. And that might coincide with Bitcoin actually, because the halving's in April. Are we going to get a pullback on this because of Bitcoin? Because all the capital is going to flow into Bitcoin until Bitcoin goes up, and then this starts to move again, and we're still in the lows basically. But if we do go up like that and reject off that trend line, they're very possible. If we come underneath this level here, we're making a lower low. So ideally we want to hold above it. So I think maybe the point of control, that'll be just underneath the golden pocket. But this is what you want. You want to go down as far as possible without making a new low to form a nice bullish bat. Even if you do make a lower low here, you know, that's your higher. This could be your lower low to go up. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen actually. I can't predict it. I just do know that on the higher time frame, I get rid of these. There's a few things going on. We've clearly broken that line, so if we do come back, would you come back to test it? But it'll be quite deeper to come back to test it, you know, like when do you come back? So it depends on how, when we get up there, if we get up there, you know, you come back to back test this line one more time. Do we get up there by March? We have to see, and I think this is going to really depend on Sensei as well, because we are expecting Sensei to launch by the end of February. I think this month. We are expecting a little bit of a rally, maybe for 4 weeks. Now we have to see how strong this rally is, because if it's weak, then we're just going back down again. Then we could be going down to backtest this breakout line. And actually that is a bullish harmonic. On the higher time frame, we are forming some sort of bam, bam, bam. We get, I mean, we get this does, like, this looks like an inverse head and shoulders, right? It really does. We've made our lower, we've made our head, and now we're forming the right shoulder. So this looks like an inverse head and shoulders, right? But if we form that harmonic, it's gonna look like a, it's gonna look like a failed inverse head and shoulder, because we're going back down again. I don't like that harmonic. Doesn't make sense to me. It's in play potentially if, so this harmonic is in play only if we reject at the C, right? So I want people to realize that I'm not trading this harmonic unless there's a reaction at the C, which is a clear rejection from the VAH and this trend line that I've drawn, right? So I am keeping an eye on this. Yeah, if you see a reaction, when we eventually get up to then, the timing has to be correct as well. It can't just be like whenever. It has to be, this harmonic is based on time, so you have to have the right balance in the way it hits that location. It has to be on par with time. And so if we get that kind of harmonic at the C and we get a little clear rejection, then I think I will probably scale back a little bit, because the drop is quite a lot, you know, like even if you catch it when it's coming down to the D, you're talking about a 63% drop potentially. I think for 63% after you've completed the C on a harmonic, which is bullish but still requires a drop for 65.3% to complete, I think you would scale down and let it play out before you re-enter. And I think that's what you'd want to do, right? You'd want the price to go up there. If you see a reaction and it's not really pushing above this value area high, I think you would sell, and you'd look to reaccumulate back there for a big push up, you know, wouldn't you? And you probably wouldn't wait down there. You'd start limiting in just in case it, you know, you just don't know. You wouldn't want to be out of, and you wouldn't go all out and all in, you know. I'm only talking about maybe a moderate percentage, you know, and if everyone did that, then it would be fine. You know, it's not, the burden's not on one person to do that, because ideally what you're looking for is capital to come down at the D to push it up. Then that will be it. That will be the bullish harmonic, because now you're expecting this. Now you're finally expecting a massive push up. But I think this is only if the C resists. Otherwise, we are making some kind of higher time frame head and shoulders. And do we go up like that? Do we get the volume injection to push up? Obviously the timing's all wrong. So I mean, this is all going to be based on Sensei, really, like how successful Sensei is, how much the marketing is, how effective the marketing is. There's a lot of things that are going to play to this kind of price action behavior that we could expect. Like if we don't get that kind of bang and the launch isn't like as impressive as we hope, then the sentiment's going to change very quickly. So we have to see what the sentiment's like. If we get delays, again, that's going to cause negative sentiment. You know, if we're expecting Sensei to launch and the price is kind of working its way up and then suddenly delayed by 4 weeks or 6 weeks, or, you know, you're going to get another sell-off, aren't you? So I think all of that matters. We have to see how that plays out. So there's a lot of things that are dependent upon what's happening with Dtravel at the moment. We have to see how that plays out. But ideally what you want is you want volume to break this line. You know, these trend lines, when they form, you need volume to get through them. That would be a really nice head and shoulders break if we get that, because I don't know how you would draw the neckline, the target, but from the break to the neck, from the break to the head, you're looking at 40 cents potentially. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy to do this, to predict the future. We have 13 hours on this 3-day candle. This looks like a reversal. It looks like a bearish reversal, but it's not, because we're just in a range, you know, like just bear that in mind. You look at that and you think bearish, but actually probably not, because if we close roughly at this level now, we'll probably just go up tomorrow. So just don't get bearish. And already I can see the price is starting to come up a bit, you know, like this is what I was saying yesterday, you know, that you need market sells to go down, and once the market selling is exhausted, you're hitting like liquidity levels, then the price will just go back up again. Yeah, so just don't get too bearish when the price moves down. Look at these as opportunities to buy. I bought a lot yesterday. I don't know, I think I bought about, I mean, a lot is subjective, right? But I think I bought about 90,000 tokens yesterday. So if everyone does that, we can destroy the bears. Eventually what's going to happen is the price will exhaust at these levels. You know, you have to understand that that's how it's going to work. Eventually you'll run out of token at 3.7 cents. Eventually in the future, no one is going to be selling at those prices, you know, and it will just keep on going up. And it's a slow process at the moment, but the higher it gets, the more bullish people will be, and the less willingness they will have to sell, you know. So at the moment people are still like thinking, well, it's not going up, I can just trade it a little bit. Once you start getting some kind of impulsive break, I think you're going to see people, less and less people willing to sell, simply because the price keeps on going higher and higher, and they're not going to sell because they don't want to miss out on the move. So everything is in anticipation of the big move, the impulsive move, which we haven't had yet. And I think once we get into the impulsive move, you're going to see very little selling, and it's just going to be all buying. If anything, people are going to be trying to push the price up as much as they can. So you'll see an increase in volume. But no one really knows when that's going to happen. And I think the most annoying situation for everyone is going to be this. I'll show you. Don't know how this is going to really annoy people, because you're drawing no, potentially, but could you be forming some kind of, you know, who knows, like a really extended triangle just at these price ranges, you know, like just whatever. That's going to really annoy people. It doesn't annoy me, but it will annoy people. And I think the reason why people are going to get annoyed is because they're going to be looking at like RNDR, you know, and already since September 23, it's, you know, 250% up. Or Rio, let me look at Rio. You can look at Rio. Already since October, it's 400% up, and it's holding. You know, this is it's consolidating above a previous high. So it's holding. It's a bullish consolidation above a previous high, and that's why people are going to get. People are getting annoyed because they're looking at other tokens, and the tokens have already, like, they've left. You know, like Rose. Look at Rose. It's literally impulsed out of the lows, and out of the lows it's up 180%. And these are like higher market cap tokens. They're not even micro caps. If you go to a micro cap, I've shown you this before. It's a shit coin, like the shittest of them all, Agoras Credit. And from the lows, these lows here, to current price action, it's like a 10x. To the top of this range where it hit the golden pocket, it went up 20x, you know. So I think a lot of people are getting frustrated. And then when you look at these like really shit coins, like these ultra shit coins, these meme coins, which have no value, absolutely no value, from November 23, this rubbish coin, Myro the dog, did a 22x, you know, from November. So that's what's going to frustrate people. That's what's frustrating people. And let me tell you what the solution is. Like, I think people need to, I think if you're getting frustrated because Myro the dog is doing a 20x since November, let me mark out November for us here. This is November here. So Myro the dog has done 20x, a shit coin, a meme coin, a Solana shit coin, and we're basically not even half an x. We're only 60% up. whereas Myro the dog has done a 2000x. If we had done a 20x, our current price action from November, we'd currently be trading at 50 cents right now. So if this had followed the path of Myro the dog from November, we'd be about 50 cents right now instead of 3.7 cents. All right. Of course, that's frustrating for most people. Of course that is. Right. But I think the strategy for people to contemplate is diversify. Don't go all in. Yeah. If it's not a big deal, like just have more than one, you know, be invested in more. Don't just be invested in TRVL. You know, not every token is going to pump at exactly the same time. And in my imagination, TRVL is my bank because we are at the lows. It's a growing project. The project's growing at an exponential rate when you consider the growth of the value of the bookings and the host acquisition onto the network. That's the fundamentals of the physical network. So in my mind, this is my bank. You know, we are at the lows and this is my bank. Now, if you want to go and speculate on these meme coins, go speculate and then bring your money back into the bank. That's how I'm imagining this. Now, you could imagine Bitcoin as your bank too. But I think this is better because eventually this will explode. Eventually it's going to happen. Eventually it will happen. And what we're seeing now at the lows is a healthy accumulation pattern. Healthy accumulation pattern. And every dip is an opportunity to buy at lower prices. We're above the point of control and we're holding steady above broken trend lines. So I think it's a good idea to view this in that way and then not be 100% in, because of course if you have your value in the bank, you're not expecting it to go down in value, but also you don't necessarily expect it to go up in value suddenly. And then you will diversify in terms of your speculative investments in other tokens. And then when you make profit, you can bring it back to the bank. This is the bank. That's how I'm imagining TRVL at the moment. Doesn't mean this isn't going to go up and do its 5-wave impulsive move. Yeah. But it will do it when it's ready. And it will do it when the project is ready in the real world. And it's obviously not there yet. And when it does, it's going to be fireworks. Yeah. Because a lot of those coins which are pumping, they're gonna dump in a very big way eventually. Let me bring it, Myro. Look at Myro. When I analyzed this, it was riding the highs here. You see, I marked it out, and look what it's done. You know, it went down 76%. Okay, so fine, from the absolute lows, it's still up 5x, potentially 4.5 to 5x. Yeah, but a lot of people bought here, and now you have a lot of trap liquidity. Let me have a look at the volume pool to see. So we're back. You see, we're back in the volume range. This is bearish now. This token has now become bearish. Yeah. So I do expect it probably to head back down to the point of control. You're going to have a lot of trap liquidity as the price comes down because you've put in a lot of volume in the higher parts of the price action. And now the price is going down, and the lower it goes, the more inclined people are going to sell because they're not going to allow their positions to go negative balance. And some people came in the lows. They didn't sell the highs of this. They didn't watch my video, because if they watched my video, they would have sold. So these people didn't watch my video, and they were expecting higher because they have no idea about technical analysis. That's fine. But the reality is, once the price gets back down to the point of control, most people will sell. Most people will just exit. And it's going to be very difficult to get the price back up because you're going to have a lot of trapped liquidity in the highs, yeah? So even though this has its had its moment of glory, and it may have another moment of glory in the future, it's possible. The reality is that a lot of people are going to get punished in the process. A lot of people are going to get hurt, and only a few people are going to really profit. A few people who know what they're doing, and actually the few people who know what they're doing are the people with probably the people who founded this coin and have all the capital anyway. They've got the lowest positions, and they're just moving the market around, and they're just destroying everyone else potentially, because most people don't really know what they're doing. I think when it comes to TRVL, we're not going to be in this situation at all, because when I look at like the Bitcoin chart, you know, we're holding steady, you know, in this, on the point of control, in the volume area. So we're basically right now on par with Bitcoin. Right now it looks like we're on par with Bitcoin. Doesn't mean we can't move to the low of the range, but we kind of ranging with Bitcoin at the moment. At the moment, that's what it's looks like we're ranging with Bitcoin. And we're not going to be in that situation with like Miro, because for a couple of reasons. Firstly, a lot of the volume is already at the lows, and we're above the point of control on all the exchanges. And if the price does go back down to the value area low, then I think there's a lot of interest to buy it right back up. And because it's a small market cap, the price will move up really easily. You know, we're not going to be in that same situation. If this was actually to happen, this would be a really nice inverse head and shoulders, you know. And this will break out crazy. If this was to happen, we'd have a crazy breakout. Yeah, it'd be a really crazy breakout if that was to happen. I think then it would just go all the way to the highs really quickly. And then most people will be in healthy profit, and then most people won't close their positions because you've just had a crazy breakout, and then a lot of people will FOMO in, and then you'll start consolidating in the highs. And then eventually, as the bull market continues, you'll be forming some kind of distribution pattern. Yeah, we don't know how the distribution pattern is going to be. We're creating an accumulation pattern at the lows. We'll have a distribution pattern at the highs. It could be a head and shoulders pattern. You know, it could be a double top. It could be some kind of Wyckoff. You know, it could be any of these. Rounding top, some kind of Wyckoff rounding top. You know, you could have an inverse Adam and Eve. You know, you could have any of these topping patterns that form over a long period of time. So we just have to be aware of that. But I think this is a really good position to be in. And if people are stressing, just diversify a little bit. You know, don't go all in. I'm buying TRVL every single day. I've got a large amount of capital to buy the dips, and I'm just treating this as my bank. Not really interested in any other tokens at the moment. Nothing really excites me, to be honest with you. I think everything else for me right now is gambling. So what I will do is I'll trade it. I'll take my profit and I'll move it back to TRVL. I mean, TRVL is gambling. I think TRVL is a sound project. I've proven it. I've tested it and I've proven it. Let me have a look at the Dtravel website. So what they did is they announced yesterday that their token, they've updated their token page. So let's have a look at it together. Here it is. Don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is new. So we know exactly what the distribution of the TRVL is right now. There's 299 at the moment in circulation. 1 billion total. This is the current tokenomics. So this could all change. We just don't know how yet. Here it says, look at this. Total locked, total vested. So the way vesting works, it's a promise for the future. I don't understand how the locked works. I'm a bit unsure. I'd like a little explanation on what the locked means and what the vested means. And then the other thing to note is that circulating is not, doesn't mean it's being traded. It just means it's in circulation. So if you have a community growth fund, which is allocated 250 million tokens, and the community treasury, which is allocated 250 million tokens, and the foundation 200, if they're circulating, they're not actually circulating. So they're not actively trading TRVL. It's not in circulation in that sense. I don't know, like this vested, I'm not sure what the difference between locked and vested is. So I would like to find out. There needs to be some kind of explanation. Now the seed sale, the strategic sale, all three of these sales have been completed, and all of that, this is the circulating tokens. So if you want to know how much is actually circulating for trading, I can do it now for you. Hold on. I've got a calculator. Let me do it now. So we have 100 million plus 70 plus, that was easy, 25. What's it? Plus contributions and advisors, that's plus 8. That's it. So there's 200 million actually in circulation for trading right now, because I've just added up the contributors and advisors and these sales. 200 million, right? So 100 million is going to be in the reserve. $203. Let me just calculate that. Let me just add all these numbers up, because I just want to make sure these numbers work. 20, so circulate. Let me just add all the circulating numbers up to see. 82.98 plus 8.12 plus 25 plus 70 plus 100. All right, so I've just discovered a problem. The numbers don't add up. It sucks when numbers don't add up, doesn't it? So when you add up all the circulating numbers, I think everyone should try this out and tell me what they think, because I can't figure it out. Let me add up all the circulating. 24.62 plus 17.88 plus 82.98 plus 8.12 plus 25 plus 70 plus 100. That comes to 328.6 million. So clearly I'm doing something wrong, because these numbers aren't adding up. So let me just save that number. Let me add up the vested. 137.68 plus 130.13 plus 146.84 plus 46.74 plus, that comes to 461 million. That's vested. Let me write that down. Let me just add that to my memory. So the total so far is 789 million. And then let me just calculate the locked. 112.32 plus 9.87 plus 53.16 plus 58.26. So locked amount. $304. Okay, so that's correct. So the vested numbers at the bottom here work. I'm getting incorrect numbers. I need someone to help me here because I have no idea how these numbers work. You have a 1 billion supply. I'm probably going to ask Eric later on because at the moment he's the only one that's responding to me. No one else is responding. They're all busy, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. All right. So that's TRVL. So that's new. I guess it's good. Like, let's not be negative. This is positive, but it's a step in the right direction. And this isn't the new announcement that is being announced. I don't think it would be really poor if this was the great announcement. Smitty's asking, when is this big news? It's a good question. James writes, good morning, Dtravel community. We released the TRVL. Right. So I'm just going to make a comment here. I tried to add the numbers and they don't. Could you please clarify the difference is between locked, nested, calculating. Please numbers themselves to make sure don't. How much did I calculate the numbers to be? Let me just check. So I did let me add the circulating. 24.62 plus 17.88 plus 82.98 plus 8.12 plus 200. So my circulating is coming to 336. Right. So I've put that comment in. Let's see what the answer is. No idea. All right, I did that live. So guys, you see, I'm doing my job. I'm holding Dtravel to account. Let's see what else is written here. Smitty says no catalyst, no token value. All right, Smitty, funny. Never mind. All right, that's that. All right, let me have a look at some other tokens now. I think let's move on. What do we want to look at now? I think we're going to have a quick look at Doge, unless anyone has something else they want me to look at. But David wanted me to have a look at Doge, so Doge it is. Wonder if I should do my analysis again, huh? Just do a full Doge analysis, huh? So I've got the bull market. Right, got that. I have this channel that I drew from before. Let me see if I can adjust it a little bit. So I'm using the weekly time frame. That looks better, huh? Yeah, that looks really good. Would you go to the low? No. I think that was correct. Well, I had it before. Maybe this one here. No, those ones are fine. Based on this, we came to the midpoint of this channel. Hi B, how's it going? Could you send me an invite link to the unofficial TRVL Telegram chat? Unofficial one. You mean the travel price discussion? Yeah, I can do that now. Done. I don't mind this channel. It's quite a historic channel, and we can see reactions at the top of the channel and the midpoint and the bottom. This was a little bit of a fake out, but we had reactions here, 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 a little bit here, a little bit there and there, here, 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 failed auction, back test, and here. So I think this is quite a nice channel if you're following on the higher time frame. So I'm using the log chart, so just bear that in mind. This is where we had our first kind of big impulse. That was impulsive. 1. That was your 3. And you had a very weak 5. Let me have a look on the 3-day chart. It's not really impulsive, huh? Like, I don't know if this is actually a wave one, because I can't see 5 waves on this move, on this first move. Look, this is really impulsive. And your wave one. If that's your 2, that's your 3, then the 4 can't come underneath. Then that's not 4. And is that your 4 to there? For a 5? It doesn't look right. No, it doesn't really look right. Don't know. It's not easy. Could be though. I mean, it's almost right. You just had a little rubbish 5, huh? Like a shit 5. There. Like a really poor 5. That's your line, but it goes under. It's not meant to do that, you know. With Elliott waves, you're not meant to go under the 1. This is the 1. You're not meant to go under it with the 4. That's not how it works. So that's incorrect. This would have to be like there. And then really you want the 5 to kind of push up a little bit more, you know, like that would make more sense. So the only way you can see if this is correct or not, maybe this 1 is not correct, but no, that's fully impulsive. That's a 5 wave, 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless that's the 3. Yeah, that makes more sense. All right, so this is how it is. Let me tell you. Very interesting, huh? It's very hard, but it's basically, this is your 0 starts here. I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your 1. That's correct. Then you have this consolidation range. Wait, no. No. Let's have a 1 down here. 1, 2, 3, no. 4, 5. 1. That's your 1. And your ABC. Would that be your 3? And this was your 5? No. That's your 1. That's your 2. That's your 3. That's your 4. That's your 5. That actually works because this is your 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 doesn't go underneath the 1, and you have a really expansive 5. Okay, that works. Some kind of A, B, C here. It's fine. So this whole arm is your wave 1. This is wave 1. That means this whole arm is your wave 2. This is a wave 2. And it could actually be an X, Y, Z. There. Something like that. X, Y, Z. What the hell? No, not that. Be that. 1, 2, 3, there. And then to create that kind of behavior, you want A, B, C. You want an A, ABC, like a really extended ABC, and then just whatever, really. I don't know, maybe this is different. Maybe this is something like maybe this is something like that. I don't know. Doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. Just imagine it's like that, right? So you have your correction, you have the 0 to the 1, the 1 to the 2, zero to the 1, that's the 2, that was the 3, 4, 5. All right, let me just change that color. Just get rid of these. Right. So we're looking to make a fiver. If this is correct, that was and that would work because we haven't come underneath the 1 and the 4. This next one will be a 5. This was an overextended on the ABC. So that was the actual 1. ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC or XYZ. Then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have this kind of ABC correction all the way down. So we're in the fourth wave of, and the next wave is going to be a wave 5, right? So this is kind of what I'm seeing on Doge right now. Based on this, I can probably do some fibs, some trend-based fibs. Right up to there. There. Where does that take us? So the 3, okay, it's almost good. It's not bad because the 1-to-1, it kind of got to the 1-to-1 here, and then it extended almost to the 1.618, which would have been $1. It didn't get quite there because it got stopped at the 1.414. It kind of into the TR pocket. That's where the price reversed. So that's from the 0 to the 1 to the 2. On the trend-based fib, we got to the TR pocket, almost got to the 1.618. Right. The 3 is bigger than the 1. That means the 5 can be bigger than the 3. That is possible. And now there's 2 ways to do it. Let me see what the retracement is on this extension. So we came not even to the 50%. And we're coming back above the 382s. It's quite a bullish consolidation when you think about this extension. Yeah, it hasn't come back to the golden pocket. Hasn't even come back to the 50%. It's just underneath the 382 and we're coming back up the 382. That's quite bullish in this correction. It's quite a bullish correction. So let me just see. I'll do 2 more trend-based fibs. I'll take that to the 3. Let's do it to that low. Maybe. Don't really like doing it to the low. I like doing it to this one probably. It's rough. These are rough areas. So I just can't imagine this going up to $445. It seems a bit excessive to me. That would be a 1-to-1 on this from 0 to 3. So let's forget about that. It's a bit too much. Let's do it from the 2 to the 3 to the 4. So this would make more sense. Like a 1-to-1 is about $17. And if it's a weak push, Like even just getting to the 618, we're looking at $2. $2. And actually, you could always just get back to the all-time high and have a week 5. Like, you have to bear that in mind. It's like right now, we have pretty strong confluence at the all-time high. Mark that down. So our all-time high, depending obviously on where the price, when the price gets there, is coming into the top of this channel. And if you get there by the end of this year, December, you're coming into the top of this channel and the all-time high. That's going to be pretty strong resistance, a very strong resistance level back at the all-time high. Yeah. So I do expect that if the price does get back up there, then we'll see a big profit take, and then you just have to see what happens. But technically, if you have a really bullish run, like these are the targets technically. So a 1-to-1 would be normal. Let me start $17. That would be normal. And then 1.272 and 1.414 is overextended, and then extremely overextended is 1.618. So these are the extremely overextended targets. But if the price does get above all-time high somehow and consolidates there, then all of these targets are within reach, just simply because there's no volume profile in the highs, the high of the highs, so the price will kind of move really quickly. And so naturally you'd be looking to take profit when these numbers, if and when these numbers hit. Then the other way to do it would be some kind of extension. And actually what I'm seeing on this extension is that we have pretty strong resistance level at about roughly at about $2, So I have an extension and then I have a trend-based fib. The trend-based fib could be potentially from this low here, but it doesn't really change anything. You've got like pretty strong confluence at $2 and $4, I would say. Even $2 and $4, you've got pretty strong resistance levels, and that might be it. And if you get from the current price to the all-time high, you have a 7x. You get to $2, you have a 21x. You get to $4, you have a 42x. Yeah, so I think that's going to be quite overextended for Dogecoin. Personally, I think big take profit at the whole time high, and then if it extends, then you're looking for $2. That's what I would imagine. And then, so that's the EW. So we're on the wave 5 now, I think. It's the Elliott waves. Get rid of those. Let's zoom into the current price action a little bit. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do is an overall. So you see what we have right now. When you look at the volume profile, there's pretty much no volume. Is there a recorded volume? Oh, it says 0. Okay, so the volume wasn't even recorded in all of this range. So it's hard to tell what the overall volume profile is. This is on Bittrex. So possibly what you would do then is have a look at Doge on Binance. It's probably where most of the volume is coming now. And if you do a volume profile on Binance, let's have a look at the total here. Have a look at Bittrex. Yeah, slow it down. All right, forget about that. So this is using Bittrex gives. I'm just using that to do the EW count. So I think we're in a 4 right now to go to a 5 on the higher time frame. And then to do the actual analysis, I'm using Binance on a lower time frame. I'm using Binance, and the reason why I'm using Binance is because Binance will have most of the volume. So let me have a look at this. Okay. So basically drawn a fib retracement from the all-time high to the low of this range. I've also drawn a volume pool from the candle that brought us into this range to the current price action. And so what I'm seeing now is that we're above the point of control. That's quite bullish. We have there's trapped liquidity at specifically at 2 areas above us, here and here. Yeah, and naturally that's going to be quite strong resistance as we go up. It does look like we're forming some kind of triangle. This is all subjective. And I had this drawn out from before. Probably the D is up to there, actually. Let me just connect these correctly. So that one. We're on top of support, but we have a really important level to flip into support above us, which is the 236, which is coming in at about 9.3 cents. Yeah, and we're at a good level now to accumulate, to be honest with you. The reason why is because of this range from this low here, this pivot to this pivot here. If I do a fib retracement, we've landed into the 50%, which is perfect. That's kind of what you expect on the last retracement before some kind of triangle break. You wouldn't want the price you don't want the price to go to the low. I wouldn't want the price to go to the low. Yeah, so this triangle from the A to the B to the C to the D, now I wouldn't want the price to go to the low of the triangle to go up. That, for me, that doesn't make any sense. For a bullish breakout, what you're expecting is to the A to the B to the C to the D. Then you'd expect the price to retrace to about the 50% to then break out. That would make more sense. That's kind of, you know, bullish price. The price is pushing the highs. It's not in the lows. And so if the price was suddenly in the lows again, that wouldn't really correspond to a bullish breakout. so because we're holding a 50% of this extension, then actually I'm thinking that this is actually a really good place to accumulate. Doge, it's a really good place to accumulate. And you have a really easy invalidation because we have a point of control underneath us at about 7.2 cents. We're currently at 8 cents. The point of control is so anywhere from here until 7.2 cents is really good level for accumulation, and I wouldn't expect it to go lower if we're looking to go up. And eventually what's going to happen is we're going to flip this 236. So there's two 236s. One lines up with the overall fib retracement, and one lines up with this retracement. They're kind of in the same area, and actually you want the top one to flip into support, not the bottom one. And you flip that into support, a little bit of volume, and you're moving, and that's at about 9.3 cents. And the targets, well, you have multiple targets. I think the first target is going to be this one here, 13.8, and that's coming into a high volume node here. And then your next major target is going to be much higher up, probably into the golden pocket area, into the value area high, this kind of area. I think if you get into the value area high, you're probably going into the golden pocket probably. So I don't really see why you wouldn't continue and push into the golden pocket, which is about 26 cents. So basically you'd have a big take profit at 13.8 to 14 cents. And that from the current price action is about 73% higher. And then the next real target is going to be 231% high. I think it's hard with Doge because you're not looking at great moves. You know, it's a lot easier to get bigger moves on some smaller altcoins, you know, and that's the problem with Doge. Like the more inflated it gets in terms of market cap value, the harder it is going to be to push it up in terms of price. And I think it's all going to come down to the value in terms of the utility of the token. And at the moment, I think a lot of people will take profit in the highs. You have to be wary of that. I don't see anyone accumulating here won't take profit at the all-time high. I think most people will take. You're going to see, I think you will see a pullback if we get up 800%. And the thing about Doge is there's quite a large amount of volume with Doge. So, you know, people with big positions will be able to extract their value because there's enough volume to do that. You've got like big liquidity level at 12.8 cents. So somewhere between there and 14 cents, you have to take profit. And then higher up, all the way up to 27 cents, you've got a massive liquidity level there. These are two big monthly levels. You have one there in the way as well. Yeah, it's not going to be a crazy run, to be honest with you. I don't see it as being a crazy run, because what's happened is in the way the price has come down, you've created a lot of liquidity levels. You know, you've created a lot of liquidity levels. And so naturally, to go up, you have to flip these levels into support. And until they become support, all these levels are resistance. So I can mark them off for you. There's too many. You know, you've got a monthly level there, We mark it off quickly. Let me just show you. You've got a monthly level there. You've got a monthly level there. You've got like 3 untapped monthly levels. And you've got weekly levels. These untapped weekly levels. It's not going to be a straight run. I don't see it. That one's tapped. That one's tapped. That one's tapped. It's higher up. Got one at the top there. Got daily levels too. The trade plan is this actually. So let me bring the triangle out again. I think I'll be targeting the golden pocket actually. That would be my target for this trade, and that's it. Looking to you take your big take profit is the golden pocket. Then you're aiming for the all-time high, and then if you'll manage to get to the $2 mark, and that I think that's it. I think that's the end. To $2, that's a 25x. I don't know what the market cap of Doge is right now. Let me quickly have a look. Doge market cap 11 billion. So even like 20x 11 billion, is this really going to be a $200 asset, $200 billion asset at $2? I don't see it. I just don't see it at all. There's so many other tokens that are going to pump. I just don't see Doge doing it. I think best case scenario, all-time high, but I wouldn't be surprised if we struggle to get past the golden pocket, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a really met wave 5 and the extent of our run is completing this breakout triangle there. Maybe one more push and then that's it. And then that's it. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens. And I think this is what I'm thinking with Doge. Like, people don't understand how the markets work, and people are imagining $10 or $5, not realizing that the market cap has to go up and correspond to the higher prices. And I think a lot of people will be taking profit, and then you're going to get a lot of latecomers buying up people's sell orders at the highs. And effectively what you're really looking to do with Doge, I think, is just continue ranging, you know, just continue ranging this volume range on a higher time frame. And eventually what you're going to get is some kind of higher time frame triangle. It will look like a wave 5, but it's actually going to be like a higher time frame range, higher lows, lower highs maybe. And that's pretty much it. That's kind of what I'm imagining. So I think definitely once you get to the value area high and or the golden pocket, I think that will be a major take profit. And then if it goes, it goes. Who cares? You know, if it goes higher, it goes higher. And that's basically the extent of what I'm seeing with Doge. And the caveat, there is a caveat. The caveat is going to be some kind of crazy madness with Elon Musk. Like if Elon Musk does something crazy, it's possible, you know, it's possible. But he's under a lot of scrutiny, you know. I don't necessarily think he's going to be pumping Doge this time round. Like he's got, like, I don't see it. I can't imagine it. All right, that's Doge for me. Let me just get rid of these. Let me just have a look and see if I see anything else. These are going to be my great name. What's that trade idea? It's good to label this stuff. And I go back to the other chart that I've got, which is Bittrex. You know, I can't see us going higher than this green channel. Just bear that in mind. That would put us at the all-time high. If we overextend, then probably $1. But I don't really see us, like, even if we do go up like that and then push and then push, I think that would be the extent of the move. Just staying with this high, within this higher time frame channel, makes a lot of sense. But let me just have a look and see if there's anything I see here on this one. Let me have a look at this GAN. Yeah, look, we've back tested the 2-1. It was good. Nope. We're into the 3-1 resistance now. Nothing interesting. Nope. Can't see pitchforks. Yeah, look at that. It's perfect. Huh? That channel's perfect. It's modified shift. Let me see it. Try this one. No, don't see any pitchforks either. Not see anything. It's a very definite SR flip here. Yeah. These highs. It's a really important level here. Let me do it on the other chart, actually. There's a little bit of resistance there. Yeah. Right there. So you're gonna have to flip that into support as well. Try breakout. Lines up with a weekly level. Nothing else really. It's arbitrary. There's not much volume there, but there is some kind of SR flip. The way you know it is, look, it bounces, it reacts, there's a reaction, there's a reaction, there's a reaction, there's a horizontal level there, just based on price. And actually that's where the range divides. So what you can do is, even though this is the higher time frame range, I can mark these off. Delete that, and then put your top range. It's your top range now, and then you have your bottom range here, which is the current range. All right, so yeah, so we're still range bound here, and then once you get above 11 cents, you're back in this range. Yeah, major take profit is 14 cents for sure. So I think I had that marked out as already. Yeah, that's going to basically be the 382 extension fib retracement. So you definitely want to take profit at 14 cents. That's going to be a definite place. And then it could if we do kind of go up, take profit, it could kind of come back to SR flip to try to get back up to this VAR, about 24 cents. And if we do that, then you know, you could kind of, then that would be the kind of the last push possibly, and then that could be, we don't know what will happen then, because we've got some higher time frame levels there. See, so the golden pocket, the monthly level, look. So just that could be, you know, that could be it, and sharp, and then that's it. It could be, you could get something like that. Yeah, I had that already. I'm not crazy excited about Doge, to be honest with you. So I think what's going to happen, and I think people need to be aware of this if they're in Doge, is that from the previous bull run, yeah, if anyone remembers, there was a lot of people who bought this hype, this Elon Musk hype, yeah, and a lot of people are trapped. It's trapped liquidity. So a lot of people are just waiting to exit at either break even or even in slight profit and just get out their positions. So anyone who's looking to enter Doge for a massive, gigantic move has to remember that you have a lot of people in these highs who are looking to exit, you know, and why wouldn't they? They're not, they've been waiting 4 years or 3 years. They're not going to, they're looking to exit. They're looking to exit at break even, or at the very least break even, or at best some mild profit, moderate profit, 10-15%, whatever. Yeah. So just bear that in mind. So when you do hit these higher time frame levels, don't expect the price to just walk through them. There is going to be a reaction, and we're not going to just go up in a straight line. You would need massive volume injection to achieve that goal of going suddenly up like that. And that volume injection will have to clear all of this liquidity, because all of these people are sellers. Yeah, so just bear that in mind. And then the only caveat as well is a short squeeze. But I mean, even if you get a short squeeze, you know, it's not going to go up and then not go continue, you know, like, I don't know. I mean, it might, that the short squeeze might happen. There might be a short squeeze. It's hard to tell how much shorting is in this market. You have a look at exo charts. Binance futures. Is there Doge? Can anyone see Doge? They're linear coins. I don't know what that means. BitMEX. Bybit. There's no Doge on Binance futures. So the only Doge that there is this linear coins. Let's have a look. And this is the daily time frame. Let's change it to weekly. Okay, so there is a lot of there is a lot of shorting that's been happening. There's massive absorption on the higher time frame. Yeah, the way I know is that you've got higher lows, and this is the weekly time frame. There's higher lows, and there's CVDs going down like crazy. So there is going to be a short squeeze, and that's probably going to take us. Probably, we'll see. We'll have to see how powerful it is, but there's going to be a massive short squeeze eventually. Yeah, for sure. Look at that. In the context of that, what you might get is you might get like a, rather than get this kind of price action, it's probably more likely that you're going to get some kind of crazy squeeze, be like a big candle like that. Bam. As soon as you get that, take your profit. As soon as you get a massive short squeeze, take your profit. Yeah. And then what will happen is you'll get like some kind of consolidation range, and then you'll just have to see. But I'm expecting some kind of squeeze. Yeah, definitely. Bam. Like really squeeze up. Possibly up to these higher levels. But let's just see what happens. Maybe up to 24 cents. Squeeze up all the way there. And then you have to see what the interest is after you get that kind of squeeze. And even that's quite a big squeeze. If you go up from the current price to 24, it's like 200%. Right, I think that's Doge. Don't know if anyone's watching now. No questions. David wanted me to have a look at gas. So let me quickly have a look at gas. $20.17. Gas has been around since 2017, huh? Yeah, probably use the Binance index. It's good that Binance has these like higher time frame indexes. We haven't got a breakout. It's like it was a fake out. I think you probably want to get above the value area high and hold it as support or lower. We're kind of into resistance right now. It's about 60% higher though. That's the problem. We're into the golden pocket as well. Kind of trapped right now between like the golden pocket area and these kind of this like higher time frame trend line stroke value area high. You kind of want to get above that, back test it to long. I don't know if I like the idea of longing into resistance. You have a very definite horizontal level at this previous pivot high, about $8. I think it'll be a lot safer to just get above the back test and for long. That'll be a lot safer. That's basically it, really. Or we just kind of go down. Let's go down. Consolidate a little bit more. But we're definitely in a kind of flirt. There's a range here. There's a range here. We're above the range, yeah. And we're back in that range. Be nice to catch the back test of this. So we're on the point of control of the previous range. Yeah, we're on the point of control. I mean, it is a good place to accumulate, but you can put. It is possible to go down just one more time. Yeah. Getting it back down here would be better if it's possible. Probably better to get it back down here or higher, but we are at the point of control of this previous range. And but you see the point of control is above us here. See that? So probably one more SFP. Probably that's the trade actually. That's the trade idea. The SFB can be a failed auction. It doesn't have to be an SFB. And obviously if you go back down to backtest this volume area, this previous range value area low, that would be a good entry. I'll send that too. Right. All right. If there's no questions, I'm gonna head out. Okay. Hope you have a lovely day. See you tomorrow.